Okay. Got some advanced spoilers for you, at least if you live outside of the US and Canada. Yeah, this gets released next month on Netflix for a bunch of other countries, and it's good you guys are going to be able to see this in the comfort of your own homes, but at the same time, I feel kind of bad you guys aren't going to get to, see it on the big screen. Talking about Annihilation. Oh my god, I was waiting for this movie for months, actually, and I wasn't really ready for it because I watched one trailer and I was like, that looks cool, I want to see that, and then nothing else. I didn't even fucking know Oscar Isaac was in this movie until I saw it. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure it was a good movie. It had good acting, it was pretty and stuff, and terrifying, but, I'm pretty sure it was good. I'd never want to see it again, though, because, if you're squirmish, don't go near this. There's a lot of blood and gross shit and slicing of humans. It's not... You don't want to see that shit, but... dude, where do I even fucking begin? I wasn't ready, because 10 minutes in I'm thinking, oh, this is just kind of weird and artsy, it's not really all that scary, and maybe I don't need to spoil this. It fucking knocked me on my ass, our main character, Lena, she's a biology teacher or professor at a university or something, and her husband, who is in the military, and she used to be in the military, he's been missing for a year almost, and one day she's just painting her bedroom, and then he comes back, he just appears in her house, and then she's like, what are you doing here? And he says, I don't know, I don't remember how I got here, and then his mouth starts bleeding, and then she calls an ambulance, and I know I'm going really fast. I'm trying to get to the scary shit. This whole movie just plays out like a weird dream, honestly. So, then, they're in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, but then they get pulled over by, these guys in black vans, because, and then she gets knocked out and she wakes up in a facility or something, and this, psychiatrist or something, I can't remember her name, she wakes Lena up and she's like, your husband has severe organ failure and shit, and Lena's like, what the hell is going on? So they take her outside and she sees this thing they call the Shimmer, because basically an asteroid hit a lighthouse and now Shimmer, that's how it works, and they've sent people in there for 3 years, nobody's come back. At some point you just gotta give up, because man, fucking, I think even the SCP Foundation can handle it better than these guys do. But yeah, they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and I guess Lena just has to stay there because she wants to be near her husband, who's Oscar Isaac. Yeah. And I was like, I can't believe he's going to be in a coma. It's such a waste. But then he shows up in flashbacks. He's got some good scenes. They've got nice chemistry together, I guess. And, yeah, so then she meets up with, these 3 women. Josie, Cass, and Anya. They all say that they're going to go into the Shimmer because I guess it's a different approach. They're going in with, the psychiatrist from earlier. I'm just going to call her the doctor. They're about to go in with the doctor into the Shimmer in 6 days or something, because, I don't know, because they're all scientists and they think it might be better than sending in soldiers. I don't know. It's basically a suicide mission. So then Lena's like, man, I gotta go into the Shimmer with these guys. And I forgot to mention, this whole thing is framed as sort of a flashback because she's explaining her story to the guy from Doctor Strange. I can't remember his name. He's cool though. She's explaining it to him, and She just says that she decided to go into the Shimmer because she owed him one. She, like, owed her husband. I don't fucking know. So she decides to go in with all of them. And they walk through the Shimmer. And then 4 days later, they can't remember anything. But they've set up camp and they wake up. And there's some flashbacks and shit. You find out that Lena was cheating on her husband. And I'm just like, bitch, you were fucking married to Oscar Isaac. Like, who even are you? Like, I get it's because, like, he's gone for a long time, like, at different points because he's in the military, but come on, it's Oscar Isaac. Anyway. So they can't remember anything, but they're, like, their equipment isn't working, like, they do that thing where you hold out a compass and, like, it just, like, spins around in different directions like they're in fucking Outworld. So, yeah, they keep moving along, and they come to this house that's, like, half sinking into a bog, because it's all, like, swampland or something, and just, this movie's really fucking pretty. Like, they see all these, like, beautiful flowers and shit, and I'm just like, this is, like, gorgeous, and I love it. But then Josie, she's stepping out of the house, and then she gets yanked back into it by something, and she's, like, in the half-flooded house, she's stuck in the water, and they pull her out of there, and then it's a fucking, like, albino crocodile or some shit, and I was like, how did she not hear that sneaking up behind her? I mean, like, first the water would have made splashes, and, like, the floor would have creaked. It was a really big fucking alligator. Yeah, so they kill it. Because they all have, like, big-ass machine guns. Yeah. And I think Lena's the only one with, like, actual military training, because, well, the other girls, like, they know how to, like, shoot a gun. They're not all that great at it. It doesn't really seem like they were fully prepared for this mission. But anyway, then they collect samples off the alligator, and Lena's like, he's like, this is like a weird hybrid or something. Everything's kind of fucked up or something. And then they find, like, some boats, because they were near, like, a boathouse. And they go paddling across the water, and I'm just like, are you fucking serious? The fucking alligator just came out of there. You really want to go fucking paddling across that shit? But they do it anyway. And, like, Lena has a conversation with Cass, and it's talking about, like, everybody's past and shit, and how, like, nobody really knows anything about the doctor, and, yeah, talks about how Josie has, like, cuts on her arms, and, yeah. So I guess, like, they've all got problems, and that's why they chose this bizarre suicide mission thing. Yeah. But they keep moving along, and they come across, like, multicolored moss, and I'm just like, this place is so beautiful, why does it have to be so fucking scary? And they find this old fort, or something, like, they said that at the beginning that, like, the Shimmer is, like, expanding, and it's already taken over, like, a few kilometers or something. So, yeah, they go into, like, the mess hall, and they find a bag. Like, they find, like, a name board, so they found out that, Lena's husband was here before, but only the doctor knows that, like, he was her husband, because, like, I don't know, they thought it would be too suspicious for the other girls to know, I don't know. So, they find, like, a memory card there, and they put it into the camera they got, and this shit's fucking nasty, man. So, it's a video with Oscar Isaac in it. I don't know his real name in the movie. He's just Oscar Isaac. That's the facts. Just, it's so fucking nasty. He's cutting this dude's stomach open. I know, it's gross. And he's like, I don't know why they were doing it, but he peels back the skin and his fucking intestines are, like, swirling around inside of his body, and he fucking grabs them, and, ugh, it's so gross. And then the doctor, she starts walking off because I think she recognized the location that video was shot, and she goes down to, like, this emptied out pool, and the guy from the video is fucking there, but he's not, like, alive or anything. He's, like, been splattered across the wall, and, like, his torso is, like, split open, his skull is, like, halfway up the wall and, like, in half, and there's fucking moss and shit, and it's totally nasty. And they're just like, we don't want to fucking stay here, but it's getting dark, so they don't have a choice. So they just like sleep out in a watchtower, and just, man, that shit was fucking nasty. Like, I don't even think that, like, the body that they found, I don't even think that was CG. I think they, like, somebody made that in real life. Like, Jesus. So, they're hiding out in, like, the watchtower, and somebody has to, like, keep watch down on the ground, and the doctor's doing that, and then Lena decides she can't sleep anymore, so she goes down to talk to her, and they talk about, like, why is this a suicide mission, but then the doctor says it's, like, self-destruction, and then they hear some shit out in the field, and they see, like, something has, like, ripped through the chain link fence, and all the other girls come down, and then I don't really understand what happened, because I thought, like, a fucking T-Rex or something, like, came out of nowhere, but it was actually a bear of some sort, and it fucking grabs Cass and drags her off, and yeah, and then, like, the next morning, they're like, the doctor says, we gotta keep moving to get to the lighthouse, because the doctor really, really, really wants to know what the fuck happened at the lighthouse. So, Anya, she's arguing, and she tells Lena, like, we should head back, and then Lena says, oh, well, we should keep going the other way, because then we can get to the coastline and get out of here faster, but turns out she was just lying because she wants to get to the lighthouse. Because, like, the doctor wants to just see what's at the lighthouse, and Lena wants to, like, destroy what's at the lighthouse. So, they keep moving, and eventually Lena finds Cass's body, and it's upsetting and gross, and then they keep going. And, well, I can't really remember. The whole thing is like a weird fever dream. So they just keep moving, and they come across another house that they're going to hide out in for the night. But they see these plants that are shaped like people, and then Josie says, I figured it out. It's not that, like, the signals are being blocked, it's that they're being refracted. And so is all the DNA of everything in here. That's why we're coming across all these hybrids and weird-looking plants and shit. And, yeah. So that means that, like, their DNA is being refracted, too. And Anya, like, looks at her hands and sees, like, her handprints are, like, moving around. That's gross. And, yeah. So they set up, like, in a house for the night, and Lena's looking through, like, a microscope. She is gross again. She fucking, like, pricks her finger or something to, like, get her own blood, and then she, like, looks at it, and she's like, yeah, this shit is in me, and it's all gross and shit. Because, like, there's this big theme about, like, cells splitting. That's the thing, I guess. I'm not gonna pretend I understand what the fuck happened, okay? So yeah, she's sleeping, and then she wakes up, and Anya's fucking pointing a rifle at her, and then Anya knocks her out, and when she wakes up, after having a couple of flashbacks involve Oscar Isaac, she wakes up and she's tied to a chair, and she's gagged, and so are, like, the doctor and Josie, and Anya's holding, like, Lena had a necklace with her that had her husband in it, so Anya's like, Lena's a liar because she's married to the person who was, like, crazy and cutting that guy's stomach open. So she starts freaking out. She's, like, threatening to cut him open or something because she wants to see what's happening because of the whole refracted DNA shit. I don't know. And then she hears, Cass screaming outside, and she's like, what the fuck, I thought you said she was dead, and then she runs out to go get her, and then something attacks her, and then that something comes inside, while they're all tied to chairs. Oh my god, the fucking tension, just like, It's like a bear, but it's not a bear. It's got a weird skull face, and it's all white and fucking nasty. And, like, it comes in, it, like, menaces them, and then it growls. And in its growl is Cass's scream, and, like, that's some, like, weird cryptid shit, right? I don't remember which one it is. It's Wendigo, Skinwalker, or Goatman. I can't remember which one it is, but it does that shit. And it's fucking terrifying. And then it tries to attack them, but then Anya, like, she's covered in blood, but she comes stumbling back in and shoots the thing. And then it attacks her and, like, rips her fucking jaw off, and so nasty. But Josie manages to shoot it before it can eat Lena, and yeah, just what the fuck, man? Is just, I can't even fucking handle it. So then the doctor just decides to leave. She's like, I'm gonna make it to the fucking lighthouse if it kills me. And then later on, Lena is like waiting with Josie. She's like, we should get going. And then Josie's saying, like, you want to fight whatever's at the lighthouse, and the doctor just wants to know what the fuck's going on there. And then she's like, but I don't really want to know either. And then you can see in, like, the cuts on her arm, she's got fucking leaves and shit coming out of them, and fucking vines, and she goes walking off, and Lena's like, Josie, what the fuck? And then she walks around like a tree, and then vanishes, and then she's just gone. Yeah, I don't really know what happened to her, she just vanished. But, anyway, as far as I know, Lena keeps walking and she makes it to the lighthouse. She kind of just, like, teleports there. You just see, like, a title card that says lighthouse, and then she's fucking there. And she's on a beach, and, like, there's crystal trees on the beach, because why not? And she makes it to the lighthouse. There's a bunch of bones and skulls out front of it, and whatever. So she makes it inside, and there's this fucking skeleton that's, like, all burnt to shit in the corner. And she sees a camera on a tripod, so she opens it up, and she watches it, and yeah, it's Oscar Isaac. Yeah, she sees him talking, and then he sits down, and he, like, opens up, like, a grenade of some sort, and then he just burns up, and then another Oscar Isaac walks in front of the camera, and then you're like, oh shit, the one that came back isn't, like, really the husband. So she snaps the camera shut, and, like, there's this big hole at the back of the lighthouse, and she's like, well, I gotta go in there. And she hears, like, muttering coming from it. It's the doctor. She's, like, sitting on this weird thing in the middle of this weird-looking cave. And she starts talking some fucking nonsense that I really didn't get or understand, and then she says Annihilation, because that's the title of the movie, I suppose. I guess the aliens just want to destroy shit, and fuck it. So then she starts barfing up fire, and it turns into weird nebula shit. And then it turns into, like, this big ball of fuck, and it's weird, and I can't really describe it, and then, like, some blood from Lena's cuts flies into it, and then it turns into, like, a weird fucking metal thing. I don't fucking know. It looks like that one Terminator thing. So then she runs away, and she tries to escape, but, like, the thing is, like, mirroring her, and she has, like, a fight with it, and then she picks up one of the leftover grenades, and then she hands it to the thing, who, like, it morphs to have her face, and then she gives it the grenade, and it lights on fire, and she escapes the lighthouse, and the lighthouse fucking burns up and shit. And yeah. And then she's explaining to, like, the dude that's asking her questions. He's like, I don't think it wanted anything. It's just weird. And I don't think she told them that the Oscar Isaac that they got isn't the real Oscar Isaac. So she goes to see him, and she's like, you're not really my husband, are you? And he says, I don't think so. Are you really Lena? And she doesn't answer, but, like, they hug, and, like, their eyes are, like, weird. So I guess not, but it appears like the shimmer was destroyed because she destroyed the lighthouse, I think, because they said, like, some people had managed to get there now, so I guess she fucking won, but also kind of lost. I don't fucking know, man. Like, it was pretty and terrifying, and I don't, just, I feel like the movie slightly shot itself in the foot, but, like, because when she's getting interviewed by the guy, she says, like, they say, like, all the other people in the group are, like, dead or missing, and she just says she doesn't know what happened to them, so you know that everybody else isn't gonna make it. It's kind of a letdown, I guess, like, I guess you could sort of see that coming, but still, you know? That was an experience. I don't think I'd watch it again, but I'm pretty sure it was a good movie. Like, it looked amazing, but it was also fucking scary. Man, I was not ready for that shit. I thought I was, like, and you know, I've been thinking about it with, like, all this weird, like, shit that's going on with, like, the refractions and stuff. I'm thinking, like, is this the adult version of A Wrinkle in Time? Because I saw a trailer for that, like, before I saw this movie, and I was just, like, kind of sensing similar themes here about people going missing and weird shit going on. I don't know. I just do not know. But yeah, if you're outside of the US and Canada, hope you have fun watching it next month. I think that's when it's coming out. And if you are in the US or Canada and you want to see this, you should see it in theaters because it's really pretty, but it's also fucking gross. There we go. I did it. I said it. All right. I'm just gonna go. Okay, bye.